Very lovely afternoon. Welcome. This is Game Plan on 99.7 Joe FM, hits 103.9 FM. My name is Fentua Tahiru Fentua. It's half an hour past the hour 3, 13 hours GMT. Half an hour past 1 p.m. and we are on here till 3 p.m. bringing you the best conversations from the world of sport. And there's a lot to talk about on the show this afternoon. The Euros are in the quarterfinal stage. We have live commentary on this network, 99.7 Joe FM. There's a big game tonight at 4 p.m. We'll have live commentary for you. It's Spain against Germany. That potentially should have been the final, in my opinion, but it's a massive, massive game. And we are on. Today's very special because we will be on from now till 6 p.m. Sandwiched by Lexis at 3, of course, as we look ahead to that game. And from now till 3 p.m., we're looking at some of the biggest talking points from the world of sport. This show is partly brought to you by Patreon. Always a delightful experience. Yes, TV. As well. Now, what we're going to talk about, the Afcon 2025 qualifiers. The draw was held yesterday. Ghana had a very interesting group together with Sudan, Angola, and, of course, Niger. That has thrown up some very interesting conversations. Familiar foes because Ghana was in the same group with Angola in the last Afcon qualifying. Sudan because they are coached by former Black Stars coach Kwesi Appiah. And that has thrown up some very interesting conversations about potential conflicts of interest, mostly because Kwesi Appiah is also on the executive council of the Ghana Football Association, whose responsibility is it to see to the success of all national teams, including the Black Stars. What is even weirder is the fact that per the system the FA has in place, per the GFA president's own accession, you're supposed to come and defend your squad. The Black Stars coach is supposed to come and defend his squad before the ESCO, which Kwesi Appiah is part. So imagine the conversation when Ronaldo comes to defend his squad in front of Kwesi Appiah, who it's just really weird, awkward. So how will the FA, or how do they intend to negotiate this matter? And how did we get here in the first place? Or it's just much ado about nothing. I don't know. So we'll get into that conversation and look at the draw itself, where the Black Stars stand, and the rest of the pairings on the African continent, which teams have had the better pairings. Remember, for the first time in the history of the Afcon, it will take place over Christmas in Morocco next year, starting around December 21, I believe, and running all the way through Christmas until January 18, 2026. So we'll talk about that. Also, big conversations around the Euros. Lots of bans being handed left, right, centre. Jude Bellingham has been handed a one-match suspended ban. So he's been suspended one match, but the suspension won't take immediate effect, which means he's available for tomorrow's game against Switzerland. Demiral, on the other hand, has been suspended, and that suspension will take immediate effect. 2 matches, he's not going to be available for Turkey. And there's a whole conversation about whether Ronaldo is washed and whether he should be taking off free kicks. I just find the whole conversation very, very interesting. The Black Queens are also in camp, preparing for the Under-20 Women's World Cup. That's the Black Princesses. They are in camp preparing for the Under-20 Women's World Cup. The Black Queens, they are in camp preparing for a friendly match against Japan on July 13. July 13. All right, so all of that to come here on the show and all the surrounding issues. Also, let me remind you that the Olympic Games will kick off in Paris on July 26. We're in July now. Today is July 5, so exactly 21 days away. Team Ghana is still not in camp. We just finalized our list for the Olympic Games. 8 athletes will be representing the country. Where are they going to go into camp? There are now issues regarding what they are even going to wear, because apparently they've got their kits locked up at the port because they cannot pay the duty to clear the goods that the athletes are supposed to go and use at the Olympic Games. Every day in this country, there is some story that will make you shake your head. All right. I was speaking to an Australian journalist. Team Australia has been in Paris for the past 2 weeks preparing for the Olympic Games, their swimming team. Ghana is just finalizing the list and they don't even have kits to wear because they are locked out at the port. They don't have money to clear their goods. What is going on with that? So there's a lot to talk about from now till 3 p.m. here on the show. And it's interactive on social media. We're streaming live on X Spaces, so do join us there on 99.7 Joy FM's Twitter handle as well as Joy Sports GH. We're also streaming on Facebook as well as on YouTube on the Joy FM YouTube channel. All right, that's where this show is streaming. If you prefer WhatsApp to send your thoughts through, 055 11 11 997, 055 11 11 997. We'll have a lot to talk about, and your opinions, as always, very much welcome here on the show. It's interactive, it's yours. So draft that message, send it through, I'll read them, share them with the rest of our listeners from around the globe. Welcome to the show. Very lovely afternoon to all of you from wherever you've tuned in from around the world. You're very much welcome to the show. What we will do now is take a very, very short break, and then we will come back and start to unpack all of the issues here on 99.7 Joy FM and Hits 103.9 FM. This is Game Plan.
Life in Denmark can be quite different for an African legend like Michael Essien. The weather, the food, the silence. But there's always a place you can call home.
Home is where your heart is.
Sportybet. Play with champions.
When budgets are tight and money difficult to come by, you want to be sure you get the best value for your money. These are not times to be spending money fixing expensive engine problems because of cheap fuel and lubricants. Drive to a petrol source station today and buy your quality fuel and lubricants, and rest assured of fuel that lasts long and lubricants that prevent expensive engine problems. Hear the sound. Petrosol, clean fuel in full quantity.
Let go of the overpriced land, home ownership, and furnishing deals. Get the best deals for all your housing needs at one place. Visit the EcoBank Joy News Mini Fair at the Tema Metropolitan Assembly premises from July 12 to 14, 2024. The fair is open from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily, and admission is free. If you live around Tema, Spintex Road, Bong, Community 25, Dowenya, Pram Pram, Chopoli, and Dawa, among others, then don't miss this fair. EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair. Get a house, make it a home. The EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair is in partnership with EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank, and powered by the Planned City Extension Project from Citizen Habitat, Rent to Own, and sponsored by Elegant Homes, where quality meets value. Safety and home solutions. You think of a door, we have it. G&J Technical Services. G&J, the generator people. DPS Pipes, connecting you to life. Global Lighting, your solution to quality lighting. Superlock, you deserve the best. Everlock UPVC windows and doors, the right choice for your windows and doors. Syntex Tank, Air Strong, Air Tough, Less Fortune Limited, luxuriously perfect. DBS Roofing Industry, your roof experts. Virtual security, complete security solution. Build free solar hybrid air condition, cooling for the people. Devtraco Woodlands, a master plan gated city. Yobed Security Doors, protecting lives and properties. And Clifton Homes, beautiful homes, wise investments. EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair. Get a house, make it a home.
What is football? I elevated Inter to the pinnacle of European football by winning the treble. I beat the unbeatable Barcelona with Real Madrid, breaking all records on the way. I feel the hearts of the Romanists with joy after winning their first European title. I am relentless, I am ambition, I am a winner. I am José Mourinho. I am football.com.
Place your bets now.
We at the Multimedia Group are proud to announce that we are the official free-to-air radio broadcast right owners for Euro 2024. These rights were acquired from Sporty TV, who are the official free-to-air broadcast right owners for Ghana and Nigeria. We will deliver live commentary of selected games, including the opening game and the final, with our team of talented commentators and seasoned analysts on Joy FM, Love FM, Hits FM, Adom FM, Inshra FM, and Asempa FM. Apart from the live radio commentary, the Multimedia Group has also curated some custom Euro 2024 shows on radio, TV, and digital, as well as live viewing events, all aimed at delivering unparalleled experiences of the competition for our audience. The 24-team competition, being hosted by Germany, will run from June 14 to July 11, 2024. The Multimedia Group's radio broadcast coverage of the Euro 2024 tournament is by kind courtesy of Sporty TV and SportyBet. Watch selected matches of Euro 2024 live on Sporty TV, channel 36 on your digital TV sets. And the Joy Sports coverage of Euro 2024 is sponsored by NASCO. NASCO, bring home happiness.
Joy 99.7 FM.
Welcome back. This is 99.7 Joy FM, Hits 103.9 FM. The show is Game Plan, proudly brought to you by Patrosol. We are on from now till 3 p.m. talking the best conversations around the world of sports. Now, Wimbledon is also on, don't forget that. And so far, there have been some big casualties, most notably Naomi Osaka, which, if you follow tennis, probably would have been understandable, would have been predicted. But Mufta Nabil Abdullah is here. Let me introduce the guys. Achu Tamaklu is here as well. And Cho is down at Cranton. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You guys okay?
Yeah.
Oh, very well.
Yeah.
Listen, Otoado has spoken on the draw that happened yesterday. We'll talk about that. Also, I mean, there's a lot that has happened this week. So if you don't take care, you can lose track of the most important things. Ghana and the 19 volleyball team also went to Abidjan and qualified for the World Volleyball Championships to take place in China. So Mohamed Apitok and his people, all of them, congratulations to all of you for the incredible feat that you managed to chalk in Cote d'Ivoire. So big deal that volleyball is on the rise again. We'd love to see it. They won a couple of medals in the African Games as well. So it's really good to see. And guess what? I'm very surprised that Achutamaklo didn't follow that closely because his very good friend was the coach of the U19 team. Huh? Give him his flowers.
Oh, he's done well. I think...
Mention his name. Mr. Seidu.
Mention the full name.
I should mention. I said he's your friend. Mention his name.
Mention
You didn't even want to mention. You didn't want to mention his name.
Oh, why not mention the full name? I want to see how. Mention the full name.
Yeah.
Say do what?
This guy.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned the first name. He's asking for the second name.
That's his friend.
Yes.
I'm even shocked. I'm even shocked. Why is he?
What does that change? Just mention. That'll be all. Yeah. Don't say anything.
You are talking about Sidu Ajanako. Ajanako. Okay. He's.
Relax. Aja.
Is it that he thinks he's smart? He wants to set me up.
I don't.
That's why he wants me to mention the last name. And me, I saw it from afar, so I'm not going to take the beat.
But the last time he murdered the name.
I'm not going to take that beat at all.
That was the captain who got into trouble. But Chap is the coach. Chap, not Eden. They are not a group that get a lot of support, but fortunately for them, the structure and the recruitment of where the players comes from makes it sort of takes care of some of those problems that they would encounter. So a lot of them come from the security services, so the police, immigration, the military.
Even these teenagers?
Yeah.
Because this is U19.
Oh, a lot of them, the early recruits.
I see.
Yes, so that helps them. There is the base for them to train, except that that's not strictly professional training that they would get. The other thing also is that a lot of these players that went there are not full-time professionals who actively engage in competition. So elsewhere, like in Egypt and other places, there is a league system there's a regular volleyball season.
Yeah.
There is a league at various age categories where you participate in. Then you've got the national team. So when you excel, then you make it into the national teams. And so before someone makes it into the national team, they have a lot of mileage. They've clocked a lot of mileage and have built experience and capacity over the years. Yes. And that's why knowledge of that is why I appreciate anything any of our volleyball teams do. Okay. Because they are essentially, I don't want to say Frefrekobo, but they don't have the same level of professional structure in place that would keep them competitive. Even what you will call the competitions that we have here are not organized with the same level of support and structure base as you will have with the people that they go to compete with in the other competitions. So Chap has done well. Congratulations to him. Hopefully, they don't talk a lot. They don't give a lot of interviews. So it's difficult for anyone to make a case for them. But hopefully, the whispers that they make behind the scenes that they ask us not to talk about in terms of the logistical support, getting per diems and supports for the team, right, is something that they are able to get. Because when it comes to some of these federations, you can't really ask them to go and make their own money. When you say that they should help themselves, the best they can do is to put a group of semi-professionals together and go and compete against actual professionals and then beat them. And that's what they've been doing. Unfortunately, when they train them to a certain extent, they all get opportunities abroad and then they move. So if you remember the athletes the volleyball players who were part of Ghana's contingents that were preparing for the Commonwealth Games, you had a few of them moving on to leagues in Lithuania. I think there was another in Germany as well. So for those who follow volleyball, you realize that some of the names who used to play for our national teams have changed over the years. It's not because a lot of them have retired, but they get good opportunities to go and play in actual leagues, sometimes in Division 2 in Lithuania, Albania, and some of these countries. And Charlie, they've got families, they've got responsibilities that they have to meet. And that is that opportunity also beyond the money for them to actually grow in the sports and be exposed to a more structured professional environment. And so they take the money. So yes, that's basically the background to the situation that Chapno, Eden, and the rest of the team have to work in and what they find themselves in. But every now and then, they are able to deliver results like this that makes it worth talking about and perhaps is a reminder that we may need to pay a bit more attention, friends, to them.
Right. Fair enough. So congratulations to them. Great achievement. They'll be participating in the World Championship later this year in China. Hopefully they get a bit more support. So that's a big deal. Let's get another story out of the way. Muftar Nabila, listen, yesterday you published a story about how Team Ghana's kids are locked up at the port. They can't clear them. Yeah. Today is the 5th of July. They're supposed to go for a camp in Strasbourg, France, on the 7th, which is Sunday. And as we speak, the kits that they're supposed to go and use for the Olympic Games are locked up in the port because why?
They are at the airport because we are yet to pay the duty of 110,000 Ghana cedis. That is clearly, thank you. So thank you. All in all, I actually think that the Ghana Olympic Committee, maybe they should have started the processes quite early. Maybe they assumed that if the goods get into the country, they were going to get them cleared very easy, until they were asked to write a letter to the finance ministry requesting for tax waiver for Team Ghana's equipment. And the letter was written. My understanding was that it was the Deputy Finance Minister who was supposed to oversee the. When I say the Deputy Finance Minister, I'm referring to the lady, Madam Abena.
Yeah.
Yes, she's the one I was made to understand that was supposed to oversee the processes of giving Team Ghana the tax waivers they were looking for to be able to clear the goods. The equipment are currently at the Kotoka International Airport. That's where they came to. The equipment are worth 20,000 euros. And the Ghana Olympic Committee has been asked to pay 110,000 Ghana cedis to be able to clear the goods out of the port.
Which is probably roughly around maybe $7,000.
Yeah, maybe just around that region. But they do not have the money. But in fact,
I mean,
if push comes to shove, they're gonna shove. Okay.
If push comes to shove.
Yeah, no, there's no. No.
He said shove. We didn't hear him.
No. If push
Even
comes
if he
to
had said
shove,
shove,
relax,
you would have done your.
No. If push comes to shove,
Thank you.
yes.
It's about understanding.
No.
Once you understand,
No,
understand
but
what
clearly, no,
communication
dedicate.
yeah, communication has taken place.
No,
I don't have
relax.
a problem. You
Can
proceed.
No. Okay,
That's
he's
not-
actually
that's
proceed.
not entirely
No,
true.
that's
Do you know that mispronunciation can cause a difference in
If a
understanding?
Spanish man
No,
is
so-
speaking
no, so-
English with you in his accent, obviously he's not going to mention.
Is
the
he a
words
Spanish man?
properly?
no.
But
Is
is
he
he
an
an
Englishman?
Englishman?
I'm an Englishman.
No. We are Ghanaian.
We are all L2 learners.
But what is your official language?
We are all L2 learners. So if I say shoot,
Charlie, proceed.
okay.
See, we decided that we are going to do the broadcast in English. So we better do it well.
No. We will try to do it well.
Thank
Charlie,
you.
go on with your point.
So what I'm saying is that the Ghana Olympic Committee, right?
Yes.
They would try to clear their goods if they are not able to get the tax waivers because they want to fly out of the country by July 7 so that Team Ghana can start camping for the Olympic Games. But as we speak, they are very hopeful. In fact, they were actually expecting that the finance ministry will grant them the tax exemption to be able to clear the goods as of Tuesday, this week's Tuesday. But unfortunately, they've not been successful yet. That's why the staff are still at the airport. But the day is not over. It's a Friday. Probably by the end of day today, the finance ministry might just call them and tell them, go to the Kotoka International Airport and pick up your stuff. Because the equipment that are going to be used by the athletes, they're going to represent Ghana at a major global competition. So if you ask the athletes or the organization that is supposed to oversee Ghana's participation in the competition to pay taxes to be able to use the equipment and go and represent the country, it's quite some way. But that's what the law is. The law is such that we are supposed to pay taxes when we bring staff and their duties
But
on them.
isn't this the responsibility of the Ministry of Youth and Sports to facility these things?
So the ministry is actually heavily involved. That I'm aware. The ministry is actually heavily
What
involved.
are they doing?
So it was, per my understanding, and if you read the story, you will understand that it was the ministry who actually advised them to write a letter requesting for tax exemptions and all that for them to be able to clear the goods. So the ministry is involved, but it's just a process. You know, some of these things are quite bureaucratic. You take the letter there, maybe they will have to go through protocols before it gets to the desk of the finance minister to sign and all that. Sometimes maybe it is the money that is always easy to be released, but when it comes to some of these things, it's difficult for them to go through the process. So that is it. Hopefully, the Ghana Olympic Committee will be able to get the goods so that the team can leave Ghana on Sunday.
Without the goods, they will still be leaving, I'm sure. No?
What I was actually made to understand is that if by close of day today, they are not able to get a finance ministry to give them the tax waivers they are seeking for, the Ghana Olympic Committee will pay and clear the goods.
That's by close of today.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll be monitoring that. Hopefully that is done. Otherwise, we'll have to contribute clothes for the team to take to France and go and use it to train. This is Ghana. Anything is possible. Anyway, let's now that we've cleared that issue, let's talk about the Afcon draw. Yesterday, it was held in Johannesburg, South Africa. Gradually, you see that CAF's headquarters is moving from from Morocco.
But I found that one quite weird though.
You see, it's whether you like it, it is happening.
This is the second time
Yes.
a draw for Afcon is taking place in the studios.
Yes, of Super Sport.
Super Sport.
Yes.
But interestingly, you have a deal with a competitor of Super Sport.
Champion. We are moving.
I wrote this on one of African journalist platforms, and someone was like, Osasu.
Yeah.
Osasu was like, nothing is impossible in Africa.
That's right. That's right. So we won't do it at the CAF headquarters in Egypt. We won't do it at the Quasar headquarters in Morocco. Now we are moving the headquarters to South Africa.
Do you know that they're going to build a new headquarters in Egypt, CAF headquarters in Egypt?
They have
because Morocco promised to build one for them and actually started building.
In
so
Morocco.
Yes, Egypt also gave the 20 acres of land to build a new headquarters.
Anyway, so yesterday the draw took place, and we will have very interesting. We will have 12 groups of 4 teams each. 12 groups of 4 teams each. Okay, 4 teams in each group, and in each group 2 teams will qualify. That will give you 24. It's really that straightforward, very simple. 24 teams at the Afcon. And this is what the groups. I'll just go through the groups very quickly in case you haven't had the chance to see it, and all you've been doing is listening to radio. We'll go through. I'll just take you through all the groups. I mentioned the teams in there, and then we zero in on Ghana's group, where a lot of issues have started to emerge. Now, obviously, Group A is where a lot of attention is. That is the group that will have. Hold on, let me just pull out the draw. There it is. So Group A will have Tunisia, Madagascar, Comoros, and the Gambia. 2 teams there that the Black Stars are very familiar with. I saw a headline somewhere. Somebody said Black Stars avoid Comoros in Afcon qualifying because the problem with Comoros, if we don't face them again, is we have avoided. There's no other way to put it, because clearly, if we had gotten Comoros, problems would have started to emerge. Anyway, so it's Tunisia, Madagascar, Comoros, and the Gambia in that group. Looks pretty straightforward. Guys, which 2 teams make it out of that group? No? Madagascar, Tunisia, Comoros, Gambia.
Tunisia, Comoros.
Tunisia, Comoros.
Yeah.
Group B has Morocco, Gabon, Central African Republic, and Lesotho. The thing about this group is that Morocco, even though they are hosts and automatically have qualified, they're playing in the qualifiers so they can stay fit. But it also means that in that group, only one other team can qualify. And if Morocco finishes top, the team that finishes behind them in second will qualify. If Morocco finishes second, then the first place team, of course, will qualify. If Morocco finishes outside the top 2, then the first place team will qualify. So it's really a very straightforward situation in Group B. Group C has Egypt, Cape Verde, Mauritania, and Botswana. So I think in this group, many people would pick Egypt and Cape Verde to qualify. Group D has Nigeria, Benin, Libya, and Rwanda. Very interesting history here, because Benin and Nigeria are also in the same group in the World Cup qualifying. Benin just beat Nigeria in the last qualifying match. And they are coached by the former Nigeria coach Genedro. So a lot of history.
And he beat them in the World Cup qualifier. So
yes, so a lot of history as far as that group is concerned. So it's not a joke as far as that is concerned. Let's go through the other groups then, because we've also got Group E, which has Algeria, Equatorial Guinea, Togo, and Liberia. Danike. Algeria heavy favorites.
Algeria qualify. I don't know about the rest.
Equatorial Guinea have been good recently, but they will be doing that without their captain Sue, who has been banned. And that story in itself is a story we've not discussed here. How is it possible that a national team player has played for his national team for 10 years? 12 years. And CAF has allowed it to happen. FIFA themselves, who first flagged it 12 years ago, have allowed it to go on for another 12 years before a decision is now taken. It's one of the most bizarre things I've ever seen in football. And now they've come out with the conclusion that he wasn't qualified to play for them all the 12 years he's played. And now he's being handed what? A 6-man ban.
Yeah. And guess who signed it?
Who?
The former chief of staff, chief justice of Ghana.
Ah, yes.
Justice Nini Yeboah.
Nini Yeboah. He sits on the FIFA judicial
He's
panel.
a deputy disciplinary committee chairman for FIFA.
There you go.
FIFA itself, they are not serious.
So, no, this matter is true.
No, for me, they are not serious. You saw the thing 12 years ago. You flagged it.
Yes.
The facts
And
have not changed
and
over
even
time.
suspended him at the time.
Yes.
And even fined
the
Equatorial
facts
FA.
did not change. It was not as if you came across some facts that were at that time consistent with the requirements or the regulations changed, and so he suddenly became eligible. And then later, when the regulations changed again, he became ineligible. No.
It's unbelievable.
The situation now, the situation at the time this final verdict came was the same as it was 12 years ago.
They use facts from 12 years ago.
But that's the point. That's what I'm saying. That
come out with a decision
they are not
12 years later.
Look, let's move it on. Nothing has. They are not serious.
That's a ridiculous story. And now,
imagine this happened at our FA.
Group F. Group
Yes.
F, that's where we don't care about the rest.
F. I will come back to Group F then. Let's skip and go to Group G. Cote d'Ivoire, Zambia, Sierra Leone, Chad.
They should qualify. Whoever should
Cote d'Ivoire and Zambia.
Defending champions and 2012 champions.
Yeah, those two will go.
Sierra Leone, they have a bit of a good spell now. Group H has DR Congo, Guinea, Tanzania, and Ethiopia. That also looks like a DR Congo, Guinea straight away, but Tanzania, Ethiopia could cause a bit of trouble. Group I has Mali, Mozambique, Guinea-Bissau, and Eswatini. Mali, the seeded team there, looks like they will make it, and then Mozambique and Guinea-Bissau will have to fight for the second place. Group J has Cameroon, Namibia, Kenya, and Zimbabwe. And this is a very interesting one because Namibia, after seeing them at the last Afcon, they looked very, very good indeed. So Cameroon surely will qualify. Who joins them is what remains to be seen. Zimbabwe are no longer as strong as they used to be. So Kenya and Namibia will have to scramble for that second place. Group K has South Africa, Uganda, Congo, and South Sudan. This is a lot of familiar folks. South Africa and Uganda, East versus South. And then Congo, Brazzaville themselves. We saw them also in recent competitions. They're not pushovers at all. Group L has Senegal, Burkina Faso, Malawi, Burundi. That is probably the most straightforward group in all the groups. Senegal and Burkina Faso clearly look like they will make it. Now, let's go to Group F then. Ghana, Angola, Sudan, and Niger. First of all, Danike, let me start with you. Thoughts on the group? You were the one in the rush to comment on it.
But isn't that why we are here?
Okay, cool. You go ahead then. Familiar foes, potential issues of conflict of interest. There's been a lot that has been spoken about since the draw came out yesterday.
Look, it's a tough draw. It's a tough draw. Angola, we saw them at the Afcon. In fact, we played them in the previous Afcon qualifiers. We struggled against them, drew in Luanda, won here narrowly last minute. Then they went to the Afcon. We saw how really good they were, especially offensively. And then we are meeting them again. So, obviously, especially away from home, will be a tough game. Sudan themselves are doing really well under Kwesi Appiah in the World Cup qualifiers, sitting top of a group that has Senegal in it. So, obviously, there are no pushovers also. And then, okay, Niger, we have a pretty good record against them. But as Comoros has taught us, there are no minnows on the African continent. So, obviously, we need to be wary of that. But it is a tough group. But aside that, look, you still expect the Black Stars to be able to qualify, especially considering what we've done in the past month. If that form is to continue, then you expect the Black Stars to qualify. Yeah, we were even poor in the previous Afcon qualifiers. We still finished top of the group. So I don't think we have an excuse not to qualify for the Afcon 2014 Afcon. There's no excuse as to why we shouldn't qualify, regardless of the fact that it's still a tough group. But it's a conflict of interest thing, and that's where I think that's a major topic, talking point. Look, we spoke about it when it first happened. When the GFA elections were done and Kwesi Appiah was voted into the ESCO, we spoke about the fact that he was working full-time for another federation or another association on the continent. He didn't understand how he could hold two jobs in the same space, same jurisdiction, for two different federations. But they say we're too known, and we allowed the team to continue. Yes, because we are the ones who have mouth to talk. So when we called it out and saw some issues with it, so we're too known, and they said we should continue with life. So life continued, and Mother University is interesting.
Yeah.
Now the draw means that Kwesi Appiah is going to face his boss, his two bosses, because he's working for us. He's an executive committee member executive council member of the Ghana Football Association.
That's the governing board of our
association. Thank you, of the association, where they oversee Black Stars matters. So when the squad, and we understand that when the Black Stars squad is being named, they come and defend it. So when the squad is being named, the coach of Sudan will be sitting in that meeting, where he will ask questions to the Black Stars coach as to why. So Coach Appiah can say, hey, remove Kudus from the list. It's not good. No, it's true.
That's a stretch.
It's true. No, you see, maybe Kudus will be carrying
once he's
some
required by law to be
70%.
there.
Yeah, maybe Kudus is carrying some injury, but the national team, medical team feel like he can play. Kwesi Appiah say, hey, that's not a good idea. Remove him from the team.
I won't take chances.
I won't take chances. Try him quick. Or Kwesi Appiah could also come and sit in the ESCO meeting and tell Ghana who is going to play for Sudan, how they are going to play, who he will substitute. These things shouldn't be happening.
So the Sudanese should also be worried, is what you're saying.
Obviously, and they're also worried.
Yeah.
They also, because the same way we're writing about conflict of interest, the same way in the Sudanese press, they're also writing about conflict of interest. It's the same thing. Same thing. Both.
I read an article yesterday. The same issue was raised.
Same issue
by Sudanese
Same
journalists.
issue. It's not like we are the only ones talking about it, because it simply doesn't make sense. And for me, when the thing happened first, yes, there may not be direct regulation speaking to this matter, but that is when you need to be proactive. The thing has happened. Don't wait for something like this to happen before you try and fix it. If you remember, when the co-ownership thing started happening in European football, where one person will own a team in like RB Leipzig, like that tree. Yes. So like the Red Bull are owning a team in Germany, a team in Austria. They quickly put regulations in place. Quickly. You don't need to wait for RB Leipzig and RB Salzburg to be drawn in the same Champions League group before you now start running around trying to fix things. Yeah. You need to be proactive. Once a thing happened and we're raising concerns, then something should have happened. It's either he steps away from the Sudan job or he leaves the ESCO, because you can't be working for two federations at the same time, full time. And these are very sensitive positions. You can't be holding them at the same time. Now we find ourselves in this situation. And it is shocking to me that till now, we've not even got a statement on the FA as to what they are going to do. Because it's a serious matter. Or we are going to wait the day before the match, then we'll ask Kwesi Appiah, as an ESCO member and as the head of Sudan, who are you voting for? Then you have to answer us, or you need to answer. Because, you see, he's not just a former head coach of the Black Stars. He is sitting on, I don't think people understand this thing. The people who run football in the country. He's on the board.
Whose responsibility is it to see to the success of the Black Stars?
Of the Black Stars, all national teams.
Yes.
He's on the board.
Yes.
At the same time, he's also our opponent in Afcon qualifiers.
That is looking to qualify ahead of Ghana.
Ahead of Ghana. So, look, these things, why is it always us? Me, that's the thing. Like, why always Ghana? Why? Because, no offense, seriously.
No,
some topics like this,
it shouldn't even be.
It shouldn't even come up.
Someone sent a message here. This is actually a message from William in Gomoa. He says, Fentu, our problem in Ghana here is too known. Everybody feels like they know everything, especially when they think they have PhDs and MSDs and whatever Ds. Like my grandma said over 30 years ago, common sense is not common to complex people. Those two known people are suffering from some kind of complex, which is lack of common sense. Ghana pani, debi. And he says that's how we found ourselves in this situation.
No, it's true. Because when we said, they say we're too known. That's what they said. They say we are too known. The thing as in here, we did it. That's what they said. Now we are sitting here.
Didn't we just come out of a similar situation with Kumasi Asandu Kotoko, where the coach is a member of the governing board of the club?
No, so it's a trend. You understand?
Because Ogum was part of the IMC.
So
the IMC who is supposed to sit
reviewing the coach's performance,
he's part.
He's also part.
Yes.
You understand?
And giving them all the excuses he can provide.
It's not excuses. He has an equal say. So if you say they should sack the coach, if they are voting, he is voting for the coach. So
which is him.
So split decision. See, these things, they are funny. They are funny. It's funny that it's happening in 2024. And my point is it's about proactivity. Don't wait. It's not like, look, it's not every single statute, every body of rules that covers everything.
Yeah.
As time goes on, you amend it to cater for certain situations. So when that thing happened, what stopped you from acting?
Actually, what is your take on this matter?
I agree with Daniel. You see, Kwesi, by virtue of his position on the Executive Council, will be exposed to information. Some of it damaging to Ghana football, some of it important for the progress of Ghana football. By virtue of his position on that committee, there are going to be people who will come across certain information or who want to have certain dealings with the Ghana Football Association, and Kwesi is one of the people you will be required to talk to if you're looking for an Executive Council member. Now, here's the thing. Kwesi cannot simply say that, oh, if people are complaining, then I'm staying away. I won't go to Executive Council meetings. That will be a clear case of dereliction of duty. Because in the wisdom of Congress, the Executive Council needs to be made up of a certain number. And each member performs certain functions. So when one person stays away, Ghana football loses. So this isn't one of those cases where you can just say, I'm just taking a back seat. You either resign or you resign from your position as the head coach of the Sudanese team. What people may not realize is that the Executive Council essentially exercise oversight over a lot of things in Ghana football. Now, when Kwesi was sworn in together after winning the elections, he was sworn in presumably together with everyone who went through the elections and won. And the oath of office that Kwesi would swear to is not going to be different from what the other members, Randiabi and the others, would swear to. The responsibilities that they are enjoined to, that they are expected to meet, to perform, are the same. That job to prioritize. So when they swore to prioritize the development of Ghana football, which presumably includes the Black Stars, Kwesi was not exempted from it. But now he has taken up a job where he is required to ensure the failure of the Black Stars, at least over 2 games. At least over the 2 games that we are going to play.
It is a failure.
Oh yes, because our objectives over those 2 games will be to win.
And he's supposed to stand on our way to stop us from winning.
As Sudanese coach is to get results in those 2 games. Yep. How do you tell me that he will be able to uphold the oath of office? Unless you are saying that he's going to deliberately sabotage the Sudanese team. And you see, as we sit here, we can't trust that. We don't know that. And we can't leave that to chance. Here's the other thing. There are certain decisions that the Executive Council will make that will require a vote. Right? When it gets to that point, does Kwesi recuse himself from voting? Does he give up his voting right on the Executive Council?
That's normal. It happens all the time.
But there are circumstances. If it is established that for you see, there are issues where people can recuse themselves. If it says that maybe you are exposed to one of the parties involved in that particular matter, you can recuse yourself. And then when there is another matter where there is no such conflicts, you perform that task. Right? For example, if you are there and there is a matter involving maybe Kumasi Asante Kotoko and the council wants to decide on it, and you feel that you are compromised by virtue of the fact that you were voted for to go and represent Kotoko on the council, and so you cannot take part in that process, so be it. I mean, that is open to the interpretation of the people who sent you there, because they would also want you to be there to advance their cause and actually vote for them. That's a different matter. This one, we are looking at a case where for as long as the tenure of this council is in place, he is most likely not going to be able to perform his functions as a member of the council, which is not acceptable.
Why?
Because there is a clear case of conflict of interest. Because
but you
see
what you look at the
finish.
conflict of interest to be white and black. It is not entirely like
that is what it is. Kwesi's job. You see, let's not confuse things. Kwesi's job is to.
I'm going to read something for you so that you can proceed from there. If you take the GFA Code of Ethics, Article 19, it says something. It talks about conflict of interest.
Yeah.
That I'm going to read 19.2, right? And it says that before being elected, right, appointed or employed, persons bound by this code shall disclose any relations and interests that could lead to situations of conflicts of interest in the context of their prospective activities. In this instance, when the Sudanese FA were engaging the services of Kwesi Appiah, they knew very well that he was an executive committee member.
Yeah.
The Ghana Football Association knew very well that Kwesi Appiah was an executive committee member and was also going to take up a job in Sudan. And they also knew very well that a time would come, Kwesi Appiah, who is going to be the head coach of Sudan, would play against Ghana. Did he disclose to them that there could be potential conflict of interest? If he disclosed, the matter is resolved.
How is it resolved?
That is clearly what it is.
How is it resolved?
So, for instance,
how is it resolved?
Let me just cite a quick example,
because
right?
Disclosing it doesn't solve the problem.
Cure it.
No. So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
The disclosure alone is not enough.
What I'm saying is that. So, for instance, we have members of the Ghana Football Association, right? Every single member of the FA, including the FA president, owns a club. Right? Do the clubs not play against each other?
Yeah.
Would we say that because the FA president, right, his club plays against Kumasi Asante Kotoko, right, the FA president is not in a position of conflict of interest?
No. You see, didn't you?
Relax.
Hold on.
Relax.
The same conflict of interest clause that you stated.
Yes.
Is why you can't call the club the FA president's club anymore because he stepped down. It's not his club. So
no.
What do you mean no?
No. Randy Abe is a what of Heart of Lions. Doesn't he go for meetings? No, that was just an example.
Okay.
If the ESCO is going to vote, FA president holds 33.3% shares of Dreams FC. He's a shareholder of the club. Yeah, minority. It's not minority. There are three of them. Three of them own the club. They all have equal shares.
No. But he has yes, those are two different things. A shareholder, he said before the elections, he was required to step down as director of the club.
He decided to step down as director of the club
because
according to him,
Mufta was confusing the issues.
I'm not confusing the issues.
Let me explain to you.
I'm not confusing
was that a requirement?
Let me explain to you.
Was that a requirement?
When we interviewed him after he won the elections, he said he will step down as executive director of Dreams FC because the GFA requires 26 hours of his time and not 24 hours. That was why he stepped down.
So in other words, you're saying that there is no regulation at the FA that would have required him to step down.
Why was he going to step down?
Enough. Okay.
Kwesi Nyantakyi was the owner of Wild All Stars.
Why he was president.
So let me tell you.
All of that arrangement is another conversation we can have on another day.
What I clearly want you to understand is that the conflict of interest situation, right? One thing that solves it is just disclose. That's all.
If it doesn't solve it.
No. When you disclose, there has to be action. When you disclose, and it becomes apparent that there is conflict of interest, there has to be action taking. That is the situation with the Kwesi Appiah
The disclosure is not for the sake of it.
If Kwesi Appiah disclosed, like you said, if he disclosed the situations, and the FA determined that there was no conflict of interest apparent, and they allow it to go through. That's their fault.
It clearly goes beyond the FA and CAF. It has to be CAF or a FIFA issue.
All right.
Hold on.
Just let me finish.
Other than that,
Achu, yes. What do you want to say?
The whole point of the conflict of interest is to establish that your interest in one entity, institution, or individual will not compete with the interests and the objectives of the other party.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So if we realize that at this point, what you are required to do for party A, what you are likely to do, will conflict with what you will be expected to do here, the two cannot meet. You give up one.
Yes.
Do you understand? So it
that
is not
the
just
purpose of the disclosure.
That's the purpose of it.
You
so
disclose and then you make a decision.
You make a determination of where your loyalties. So it is not just a case of you cannot be affiliated to two parties for the there is
or that if you are affiliated to two parties, just declare it.
no, it's
If you declare that,
there is, you see, the framers of the statutes did so because they recognize there is a potential injury one party will suffer.
That's why it's called potential conflict of interest.
You see, one
the
party will
conflict
suffer.
of interest has come,
And
now the draw has been done. But there was a potential conflict of interest
That wasn't
when he was
addressed.
working for two FAs in the same confederation. That's the point.
Hold on. Okay, you know what? Guys,
we don't agree.
Cool.
I have a question for
no.
I have a question for Muftau.
All right.
When it is time for the next Black Stars qualifier, specifically the game against Sudan, if it is that we are saying, assuming without admitting what Muftau is saying is true, on what authority would anyone tell Kwesi Appiah to stay away from the executive council meetings that will plan the Black Stars itinerary?
Hold on. Who says when the head coach names after a squad is the executive council that approves?
No, I'm saying that
there's a management committee.
So you are answering to the wrong question.
No, sometimes
listen to the question. I said, if the council sits to review the Black Stars itinerary for the period,
yes,
right, from the invites that they will send out, the training program, cost of all budget and all of that. If Kwesi Appiah shows up at that meeting, on what authority would anyone tell him that you have no place here, even though you're a member of the executive council?
But why would someone even tell him that?
Because of the potential conflict of interest.
If you are saying there is nothing wrong with
it,
are you for real? Are you for real?
Okay, the two of them, they won't listen. Your microphones are off. So please stop shouting and talking over each other. Good. One at a time. Daniel, hold on.
Attach a question so that
No.
Moved out. Okay, their microphones are off. Let's listen to Henry Asantuchum. Henry speaks for the Ghana Football Association. He was asked this question by Mubarak Haruna on what he makes of all the conversation around it. And this is the official position of the Ghana Football Association on this matter. Listen to this.
There's an executive council decision. Kwesi Appiah was duly elected into office. It is within his rights to accept any job opportunity that comes to him. Yes, I've also heard some of those commentaries, but it's an issue of governance, what is right and what is not right. We will consult FIFA governance on the matter and act on what they say.
So that's that. There's an admission from the FA that there is a problem. So he says they themselves can't even make a decision on this matter. They will have to consult FIFA.
And they'll act accordingly.
And they'll act based on what FIFA advises.
Where does Kwesi Appiah's loyalties lie?
And no offense, I need to just...
All right.
The quick question I'm attaching to Achu's own.
Yes.
Is
to Muftau.
To Muftau.
Okay, so ask the question
so
back. Let me answer.
So Ghana is going to face Egypt.
Yes.
Okay, in an Afcon game. When we are having our ESCO meeting to discuss the game, would you like for the Egyptian head coach to be present in that meeting? Will it make sense for the Egyptian head coach to be present?
How can we go and play a game against Egypt and Egypt's head coach is seated?
So what is the Sudanese coach doing there?
So now let me answer the question.
Go on.
So, and I'm going to start with yours, right? The conflicts of interest situation, like I said, it's not black and white.
No, you are misunderstanding it.
I'm coming. I'm building up a point.
Let him finish.
So, you are the head coach of Sudan, right? You are also an executive council member, right? The executive council of the Ghana Football Association goes for a meeting. And it is mandatory that every member of the executive council be part of that meeting, right? Kwesi Appiah walks into that meeting and tells them that you all are very much aware that I work for the Sudanese FA and I'm going to do my job as professional as I can be because everyone knows that I work for the Sudanese FA. So because of that, I do not think I want to be a part of this decision making.
Is this what Kwesi has told you, or you are assuming that is what he will do?
I'm just citing an example.
No.
Muftau, go on.
It is clearly what it is.
It
is the reason why. It is the reason why. Hold on. No. It is the reason why, right? People go to court and they will tell you that because Mr. ABC is affiliated to you, I'm excusing myself and I don't want to be part of that decision. It is common. It's not something new. It's not something that is happening now.
I want us to establish.
No,
It is
Mufta,
a
hold on.
situation.
No.
For instance,
Hold on.
for instance, you are having a meeting,
Let him finish.
right? My son has done something wrong, and was supposed to be part of a vote that will take a decision on my son. And I tell you, no, this is my son. I'm not going to take part of that decision. Whatever you put decides to, go ahead and do it. In as much as I am supposed to represent the entire interest of that institution I'm a part of, my son is involved. So I'm excusing myself for people to take a decision on my son.
Based on what you
that
have said,
clearly means that I am not influencing the decision of other members of the FA. So for instance, but we have, what about Kotoko? We have Kumasi Asante Kotoko, where the Ghana Football Association, oftentimes they will take decisions that would involve Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Someone who represents the interests of Kumasi Asante Kotoko will decide to take a back step because I am working for Kotoko. So you people should vote. It is common.
Yes,
that is why the conflict of situation.
No, Mufta.
That's why the conflict of interest.
You've established it with very good examples. What I want to say is that that all of you are making the exact same point.
Yes.
And the point is that the conflict of interest exists. That is what the guys were trying to say.
Yes,
And
the conflict.
good. So that's what I'm saying. So you've said the same thing. What you have gone on further to suggest is that in this instance,
yes,
Kwesi Appiah, for his own personal integrity,
yes,
will have to recuse himself from every sitting at the FA.
If he decides to.
And if he decides not to, like in the example you gave of your son, if he decides not to, and he sits in there, who or what is to trust that the decision that he will make there will be objective?
So if he decides that I'm not going to walk away, it means that he is switching his loyalty to the Executive Council of the Ghana Football Association. That is where you can begin to question his professionalism as a coach.
That's what I'm saying. So
his integrity as someone who is willing to do the right thing for the two parties.
So that's the point. So that's the point everybody has literally made.
No,
that's what they are saying.
So we can't play that game. No. Serious organization.
Guys, all right, their microphones are off again. I won't take them. I've learnt my lessons. I won't take them talking over each other. We'll hear from Otto Addo. Okay, he's the head coach of the Black Stars. He wasn't asked about this matter of conflict and interest. He was asked about what he made of the draw and the teams in Ghana's group, and this is what he said.
Surely we believe in ourselves to qualify in this group, but it's going to be tough. If we begin with Angola, they have a very, very good squad. I think they had a good last Afcon where they went out by 1 goal when they played against Nigeria. Secondly, we have Sudan. Really, really doing well at the moment with Kwesi Appiah, which I know personally. Very good coach. Not a known squad, but like I said, they're doing really, really good at the moment in the World Cup qualification games. Very, very, tough to beat. It's going to be a really, really challenge to beat them, and for this we have to be 100%. But I'm excited to play against them, and like I said, it's going to be tough. It's not easy, but we have a strong team, and we surely can beat them. This is for sure. All the other teams are finding it tough to play against Niger, so it's going to be tough for us as well. We have to be in all these matches. We have to be really, really down by 100% to beat everyone.
All right, so that's Otto Addo with his lowdown on Ghana's group. So admittedly, 2 teams will qualify. So Ghana doesn't necessarily need to beat Sudan to qualify. We just need to finish in the top 2. So those 2 matches can end in draws and we'll be all fine. Let me take a couple of messages first on this matter. Lots of you are absolutely very much interested in what we've been talking about. Nitoja from Temas Newtown says, we are not serious as a country, always leaving things to chance. When are we going to learn? Oh, Ghana, why? He says. The WhatsApp number is 055-1111-997. So keep those messages coming. This one says, Charlie Fenn, I beg, I get question. The GPL teams, they no fit sell players or what? I hear say some team they mutually terminate. I hear say some team they mutually terminate contracts for like 17 players. It's 21 in total actually. In 2024, You can't find a way to sell players and you chose to terminate their contract at a cost to you only to spend money to buy replacements. Our football administrators are not shrewd at all. Germany and Portugal to go through. DB from Philadelphia sent us that message. DB, what is that question? You asked a very important question. I got more messages here. Good afternoon, friend. Please tell Achu that he's on fraud watch. He said Spain would be the flop of the tournament and they are in the quarterfinals. I'm watching Danike with one eye because he also claimed England and Bellingham would be the flops of the tournament. That's Kweku from Koforidua. He says he's watching you with one eye.
Bellingham playing well.
He said he's watching you with one eye.
If Bellingham reaches the final with this form, he's still the flop of the tournament.
Why is he watching with one eye instead of two eyes?
Fraud watch, what does it mean?
Fraud watch.
So
You understand what he means.
They give fraud prediction.
You understand what he means, man. Let me see. All right, okay. I don't think this message is for us. Let's go there.
Go down.
No, I have. He says in Ghana, your humanity doesn't mean you are one of a kind human being. And then he goes on about ethical and tribal and media things. That's not for us. This message though, or these ones are for us. This one says, hold on. It says you are absolutely right. Hold on. All right. Okay. Fent and the guys, good afternoon.
You say we should call something.
Yes.
That's a good one. I should have spoken to something.
Oh, on the conflict of interest matter.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Something will really do us some.
See, this one, you don't need law lessons. Just have integrity. Declare on what you want. Simple.
Document.
Hey,
Declare on what you want.
We need an expert opinion. We didn't book something, so
you need Kwesi Appiah needs to go and pay a lawyer to advise him on what to do in this situation.
The FA are going to FIFA's governing body full of lawyers to ask them.
That's a different thing. But Kwesi, where do his priorities lie?
No.
Kwesi, where do his loyalties lie?
Your point is what?
No, because what he wants to
achieve. You're saying that Kwesi should have taken action by now.
It's very confusing, no. It's like he doesn't know what to do.
It may be because he's an ESCO member.
He wants to take the Sudanese money.
Have we not had coaches, right? Coach other national teams and play Ghana.
At that time, were they sitting on Ghana's executive council? That's the point. That's the difference.
Let me read more messages then. This one says, you are absolutely right. Like Girona and Man City UEFA. Like Girona and Man City, UEFA has already prepared for what may happen in the foreseeable future in the Champions League. This is hope in Odumase Krobo. The point Daniel made about UEFA being proactive in dealing with some of these situations. FA has absolutely slept on this one. This one says, hello, friend. Thank you for the top show always. As for Ghana, we are the clear definition of the word unserious. We do not have foresight at all. Leadership must be able to see danger ahead and put up measures to avoid it. As for conflict of interest, it doesn't need to even happen, but the mere fact that it has the propensity to occur is enough to take an action. Yes. That is what we established. The fact that it can occur is where you take action. And you see, 2 weeks ago, the FA dropped the ball again when they saw a potential for trouble and they said our law says so, and then they let it happen. I mean, it's just bad. You know? He says, but the problem is that these problems benefit people. That is, even if the problem should be avoided, they go ahead to create it so that they can even benefit from it. And by the way, what has happened to RTU since the incident?
I was going to ask.
They will come
said
out.
They have
come out when?
When they are ready, they will come out.
Oh, God. Unfortunately, we have staunch lawyers advising these leaders. Some of them are even lawyers.
They don't listen to the advice.
But cannot be proactive. We need to deal with these stuff and move forward. I'm so surprised Muftau is defending that. His argument is flawed. Disclosure is not a solution to the conflict. I agree. I already told him that. As for Euro,
that is your opinion, but me to disagree. That's
I told you that the disclosure is not enough.
Who disagrees with fact? 1 + 1 is 2.
If I steal your money, I'm supposed to go to prison. I go to court and I say I stole it, and they set me free.
That's right.
We cannot debate 1 + 1 is 2, but we can debate what you just said.
As for the Euros, England team is just a bunch of talents without cohesion. All the same, the trophy is for Spain. El Roja del Euro. This is Dale, all the way in Madrid. And every time I see Dale, I say, shout out to Gary Al Smith. Because good afternoon, guys. All I can say is that Ghana is not a serious country. a country called Ghana. That's its Yao Chris with that message. All right. Everybody can just say Ghana is not serious. They don't tell us why the country is not serious. This one says, but in Ghana, you guys are not tired of always talking about the same things like poor preps and government lack of funding of sporting activities. Me, I think it's because we as a country, we fail to accept that Ghana is not a big country, because the idea of thinking we have the resources to compete with bigger nations is why we keep wailing day and night. This is a message from George in Nungwa. Let me take some more messages also from Twitter. Some of you have been sending us messages over there as well. And this issue of conflict of interest is a very complicated matter. One thing I do agree with Muftao on is that it is a matter that has gone on for a while in this country, where people have always found ways to defend it, and people have always said it's not very straightforward like that. In that case, yes, I totally get it. Seydou Adamu says, Fent, is Muftao simply saying that Kwesi is not in a situation of conflict of interest? I think from his explanation, he had missed that he is. He's just saying that Kwesi should come and recuse himself, and that if he recuses himself, then it's all fine and well and good. And he says, by the way, I don't think the matters of conflict of interest apply to anything Ghana football. Oh, he said no. He said anything Ghana. He didn't say Ghana football. He said anything Ghana. So let's move on. He said let's move on from this matter. That's the point I just made earlier, that in this country, conflict of interest have become, are we not currently discussing one regarding hotels and all kinds of things,
books. Oh, it happens, but they deal with it.
They try to create some lines.
But they deal with it.
But you see,
there are no special regulations or special people anywhere.
Yeah, a wrong thing becomes common. It's like right. It is still wrong.
It's also like the issue of nepotism, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It's another very complicated matter that's always really difficult to deal with, because then the people always come up with the argument that if I have a friend or a family member and is equally competent, you want me, and that's why people misinterpret what what's his name? Kurt said when he says that you want him to work with his enemies.
Yeah, I cannot win an election and work with my enemies.
You see, he's saying that, and it's all like maybe the people he's putting there are incompetent.
Yeah,
hold on, I'll come to you.
No, don't worry, you finish.
They will tell you that you put, and that's what, family and friends, government, this party will come, accuse the other of family and friends, another one will come, do the same thing, then the other one to accuse them of family and friends, government. So these things are very, very complicated. And aren't we in the sporting world, aren't we currently in the midst of a global one? LeBron and his son.
Yeah.
Bronny. And that the only reason he got that LA Lakers contract is because his father is a part owner of the team.
And he's got Nike lined up already.
And he's got Nike lined up because the brother
Nike
has...
because of ability or because of marketability?
It's
about marketability.
There's
so
that.
One, don't mention Nike.
And in the LeBron case, I've seen the criticism, but I've also seen some very interesting defense mounted in his way. That, look, and it's true, because when you look at LeBron James, he's got the opportunity to put his son in a good place. He should lose out on that opportunity.
And that was like 56th pick.
There you go.
Down.
So you see, exactly. But also, and it's the same thing with a lot of issues. Forget about what has happened with LeBron James, and look at what happens outside of sport. In real life, how many times haven't people reached out to you to try and help their son or their daughter get an internship at some place simply because they know you?
Yeah. And they think you can help.
And you too, you will help simply because you know the person asking.
Yeah.
That's nepotism.
That one is called relationships.
Then this is what we do in this country.
What has happened to
then
you?
We use English.
You said that it's grace.
Yes. Then we
when
use
it happens
English.
to someone, we call it protocol.
That's right. It happens. Or even without people in public space, even in private space, you see somebody, Muftao and Sons Enterprise. Who is the Sons? That's a father handing the business down to his son. Yeah. It's common. It is everywhere. So it's a very complicated issue to deal with, and I admit it.
Yeah, speaking of wrong issues in this country, you spoke about complicated. This one is uncomplicated.
All
pay the black princesses. That's all. This one is not complicated. Just pay them. They said that they'll pay.
Why are you pointing at me?
No, but you were there. They said they'll pay the princesses before the African Games. Do you remember? Yeah. That was before the Black Queens played their qualifier against was it Zambia? Yes, Zambia
before
in Accra.
Zambia match in Accra.
Before the Zambia match in Accra. That was the last week of February, entering March. before Africa Games, they said they will pay the girls. They still not paid. Now the girls are camping in Cape Coast. If you see the shorts they are wearing, see, it's so embarrassing, eh? The shorts they are wearing oversized, they are wearing men's shorts. They have to fold the shorts like 3 or 4 times before it will fit them. The hotel they are sleeping in, no ESCO member will pay money and go and sleep in that hotel. No member of the sports ministry will pay money and go and sleep in that hotel. Mosquito traps, smelling water and smelling bed sheet. They are sleeping there. They are not complaining, no per diems, but they are going to represent the country at the World Cup. When it's time for the nice speeches and these interesting things there, that one you know how to show up. That one you know how to show up. Charlie, pay them.
No. You have a point. To be fair, I think they've owed them for too long. It's important for them to settle those bonuses. All right, let me tell you about Petrosol, your trusted brand for clean fuel in full quantity. We are delighted to inform you that we were adjudged the brand of the year at the just ended Ghana Energy Awards. Yeah, we would like to congratulate you as well. And thank you, our cherished customers across the country, for your patronage and loyalty to Petrosol. Remember, every drop matters and every penny counts. Petrosol, clean fuel in full quantity. Petrosol, always a delightful experience. Proud sponsors of this show. I also need to remind you that we have live commentary of Spain versus Germany at 4 p.m. today on the show. So from 3 p.m., Lexisville will be here together with Daniel Kranting and Chutamaklu. They will do a drive build-up to that game at 4 p.m. So if you're driving around or you're stuck in traffic, wherever it is, make sure you tune into 99.7 Joe FM. We'll have that game for you here. Proudly brought to you by NASCO. But we also have Habitat Fair. It's important to know where you live, how to live. And that's why Habitat Fair is always here. Let's go off the overpriced land, home ownership, furnishing details, and get the best deals of all your housing needs at one place. And that is the EcoBank Joy News Mini Fair. It's happening next week, Friday, July 12th to Sunday, July 14th at the Metropolitan Assembly premises in Tema. Tema Metropolitan Assembly premises. The fair is open from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. on each of those days. If you live around Tema, Spintex Road, Ponds, Community 25, Dawenya, Pram, Chopoli, and Dawa, among others, don't miss out. This is for you. EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair. Get a house, make it a home, and it's in partnership with EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank, powered by the Plant City Extension Project from Cities and Habitats, Rent to Own, and then it's sponsored by Elegant Home, Safety and Home Solutions, G&J Technical Services, DPS Pipes, Global Lighting, Super Lock, Everlast UP, VC Windows and Doors, Syntex Tank, Less Fortune Limited, DBS Roofing Industry, Virtual Security, Urbent Security Doors, and Clifton Homes. EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair. Get a house and make it a home. Now, the UPSA, under the distinguished patronage of Her Ladyship Justice Gertrude Tiokono, the Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana, the UPSA Law School proudly presents the 2024 Lifetime Achievement in Law Award and honorific lecture. The event presents a rare but high-level opportunity to recognize and acknowledge the outstanding and exemplary contributions of notable Ghanaian personalities in the areas of the rule of law, governance, and the legal academy. This year's Lifetime Achievement in Law Award will be conferred on Nana Dr. SKB Asante, Paramount Chief of Asante Asokore, and former Director, United Nations Center on Transnational Corporations, and the Chairman of Committee of Experts, which drafted the 1992 Constitution of Ghana at an August ceremony befitting the aura of the occasion. He's a big man, SKB Asante. The event comes off on Thursday, 25th July 2024 at 5 p.m. at the Kofi Ohene Kunedu Auditorium at the UPSA. Please visit the social media platforms of the UPSA Law School or call 0245 347 946 for more information on this. Also, a key reminder of Chalkbox, okay? Chalkbox, one of my favorite things right now. It revolutionizes student life by delivering textbooks, provisions, and birthday packages straight to campuses, saving time and hassle. So with easy ordering via website, apps, or phone, students can focus on what really matters. Chalkbox Plus extends convenience, offering wholesale delivery to homes or businesses. It's not just a platform, it's a lifeline for busy students, professionals, and families in Ghana. So experience the convenience and call 0302 239 137 or 0530 474 694, or just go to chalkboxonline.com and download the Chalkbox Online apps, and you will be ready to go. This is Game Plan on 99.7 Joy FM. We will take a very short break. When we come back, we'll look at some of the issues emerging from the Euros, and there's been quite a lot of them coming out of the European flagship competition. We'll be right back.
The happenings in international sport bring us history, numbers, and moments, some of which can be repeated and others only once in a lifetime. But when all these are said and done, one platform, the Joy Sports Link on Joy 99.7 FM, becomes the convergent point for all the deep conversations. On the Joy Sports Link, we delve into the issues from expert and specialist angles with athletes and the persons who make these great things happen. This surely is your preferred platform for delving into the critical sporting issues and bringing the celebrated names and faces behind them. The Joy Sports Link is on every Saturday from 12:10 p.m. to 2 p.m. And I'm your host. My name is Nathaniel Atto, and I have love for sport.
The luckiest star 712 hash. Luck is everywhere for everyone, yeah.
Here's to the friends who dialed star 712 hash and found no regrets. To the investors who struck gold. To the health workers who diagnosed luck with precision. To the tough guy who couldn't hold back his tears. To the passionate fan who couldn't contain his joy. To the seamstress who turned her hard-earned stitches into a bundle of happiness. And now, here's to you. Your next big win is right here.
Luck is everywhere for everyone.
Dial star 712 hash. Now join in the luckiest winning celebration. Every 1st July 2024. Over dial star 712 hash. Now I can to tickets as a group, individual, and now even as a community. Now win is the car prizes are in the community draw or go for the grand draw on the 30th of November 2024. Unlock your luck with star 712 hash. Now join in the winning streak now.
The luckiest
star 712 hash.
Luck is everywhere for everyone, yeah. The luckiest.
Let go of the overpriced land, home ownership, and furnishing deals. Get the best deals for all your housing needs at one place. Visit the EcoBank Joy News Mini Fair at the Tema Metropolitan Assembly premises from July 12 to 14, 2024. The fair is open from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily, and admission is free. If you live around Tema, Spintex Road, Bong, Community 25, Dowenya, Pram Pram, Chopoli, and Dawa, among others, then don't miss this fair. EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair. Get a house, make it a home. The EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair is in partnership with EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank, and powered by the Planned City Extension Project from Citizen Habitat, Rent to Own, and sponsored by Elegant Homes, where quality meets value. Safety and home solutions. You think of a door, we have it. G&J Technical Services. G&J, the generator people. DPS Pipes, connecting you to life. Global Lighting, your solution to quality lighting. Superlock, you deserve the best. Everlock UPVC windows and doors, the right choice for your windows and doors. Syntex Tank, Air Strong, Air Tough, Less Fortune Limited, luxuriously perfect. DBS Roofing Industry, your roof experts. Virtual security, complete security solution. Build free solar hybrid air condition, cooling for the people. Dev Tracker Woodlands, a master plan gated city. Yobed Security Doors, protecting lives and properties. And Clifton Homes, beautiful homes, wise investments. EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair. Get a house, make it a home.
Joy 99.7 FM.
Welcome back. This is 99.7 Joy FM. The show is Game Plan. It's also live on 103.9 Hits FM. My name is Fento Tahir Fento. We have just about 10 minutes to wrap up on the show. I've got a message here that says that so all along, when Kwesi Appiah was playing the World Cup qualifiers, nobody saw any conflict of interest. But when Sudan is meeting Ghana, that's when the conflict of interest comes in. What double-car lifestyle is the GFA trying to display? Jonas from Lashibi. Jonas, I don't think I even get Jonas's message clearly. I'm not sure.
I don't think maybe he's referring to the voice you played of Henry Asante.
Sorry, hold on.
Okay.
You mean?
That's why he
Okay.
ended the
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, in that case, that would make sense. Listen, we've got 4 quarterfinal matches to come at the Euros this weekend. Today there are 2 games. Tomorrow there are 2 matches as well. There are 2 games this afternoon, or today, at 4 p.m. is Spain versus Germany. That's our commentary game on this network. And then after that, later in the evening, there's another big game. And that's obviously would be the match between... Just hold on a bit. What's the 7 p.m. game?
Huh? It's not Switzerland, Portugal?
No, that's Portugal-France.
Portugal-France, yes.
That's at 7. And then tomorrow, there are 2 games as well. So tomorrow's games as well, at 4 p.m. is the England-Switzerland game. Listen, we have live commentary of that match as well for you here on 99.7 Show FM. We'll be live from Heritage Craft Brewery. As far as that game is concerned, Heritage Craft Brewery is at East Legon, 4 to 6 p.m. So come and spend your evening with us. The whole team will be there. So come along and let's watch the game together. 4 to 6 p.m. Heritage Craft Brewery. Our sponsors are giving away lots of prizes. NASCO, one of our sponsors. We have 2 sponsors for our Euro coverage. One of them, NASCO, they're giving away amazing prizes. Amazing prizes. So,
and there's also Heritage.
Yes, of course. I was
Christian
going to mention
College.
Heritage Christian University College.
Yes.
They are the ones that are educating compassionate entrepreneurial leaders. But NASCO are giving away prizes. Is what I wanted to emphasize on. Products. So electric cookers, irons, blenders, everything. So on the grounds tomorrow, come around, do a quick predict and win, and take away something. We're giving away as many as 4 products tomorrow. So that's a lot that we're giving away tomorrow at Heritage Craft Brewery at East Legon. So come join us, watch the game. Okay. This afternoon, though, is Spain versus Germany. That's our commentary match. That's coming up at 4 p.m.
Someone said something.
Who said what?
That Achu doesn't have a rice cooker, but he's giving away rice cookers on the show.
Oh, that's below the belt. That's below the belt. Oh, that's below the belt.
I don't have friends anymore.
No. You know what? We have to speak to NASCO to rectify this. Wait, but is it true you don't have a rice cooker?
In fact, I don't.
Oh my God.
The last time I owned one was when I was at Takwari Technical University.
And maybe that, okay, that's maybe because you don't need it anymore. You don't need it anymore.
He needs it.
Charlie University.
Even me, as I talk,
So I have a question. You're not married, so how do you cook your rice?
It's not stove. But I don't know how to cook rice.
So he's ditched the rice cooker to use stove.
Oh yeah.
With fire, with coal pot or.
Now I'm an expert at cooking.
So when you cook the rice, it removes 1-1.
Oh, 1-1.
Quick.
Jasmine rice.
Quick.
Long grain.
Ajiman Joseph in Community Night Time says, good afternoon to you guys. Great show. For me, my wish is to see Ghana qualify over Sudan. Oh, with Sudan. Qualify with Sudan.
Would be nice.
Listen, the Euros, there's been a lot. And between 3 and 4, with Lexis in here, we'll build up to that game. But, Danny K, they said Cristiano Ronaldo is washed. He should not be taking free kicks. He's taking over. Wait, what's 60. The number? He's not scored one.
No, he scored one.
He's missing penalty. Hold on. He's missing penalties. He's not scored the whole of these Euros. He's misfiring. He looks nervous. He's holding Portugal back. Apparently.
Yeah.
Defend your goat.
It's not about defend my goat.
State the facts.
It's about facts. It's about facts and it's about logical reasoning. This thing is simple. Look, Fent. When do we reach the conclusion that Ronaldo is holding Portugal back? That's what I want to understand.
After they lost to Georgia and struggled against Slovenia.
That's when, right? So after 4 matches in a competition, or after 3 matches in one competition, he should step aside. He should retire because he's holding them back. So Saka should also retire from international football because he's not playing well for England and he's holding them back. So when Saka retires, that's when Kopama can come. Or Foden should also retire. Like, I don't understand the communication with this. You can say, yes, Ronaldo is not scoring, which is fact. His form in front of goal has been poor. But when you say Ronaldo is holding, or Ronaldo has been holding Portugal back, like, some people say over a period, Ronaldo has been holding Portugal. if you go the last 10 matches for Portugal, Ronaldo has scored 7 goals, given 3 assists. Let's go the last 20 matches. He scored 13 goals for Portugal. The person that people claim is better off when he plays for Portugal than Ronaldo, Goncalo Ramos, has scored 8 goals in 14 matches.
Yeah.
If you do the mathematics, Goncalo Ramos is averaging 0.5. Ronaldo is averaging 0.6. Portugal is scoring more goals when Ronaldo plays and doesn't even score than when Goncalo Ramos plays. But these numbers, nobody likes to hear it because it's fashionable
We
to
are
say,
interested in the free kick numbers.
Oh, the free kick numbers.
Yes.
Okay, now let me give you some simple education.
They said 60 free kicks on Shebi.
Look, and this is my friend. This is my advice to listeners. Stop listening to those people who present those numbers to you because they are very disingenuous.
Okay.
When you carry these numbers and you throw it in anybody's face, it makes Ronaldo look bad. But when you compare to the average, look, the free kick and crossing, the skill crossing in football and free kick, statistically are the most difficult skills to perfect.
Yes.
The top 5 free kick takers in history, as in the players who have scored the most free kicks in history.
Yes.
Juninho, David Beckham, Pele, Messi, Ronaldo.
Yes.
The 2 active players right now, Messi, Ronaldo. Messi's conversion rate for free kicks his entire career is 14%.
Yes.
And we're talking about one of the best in the world.
Yes.
It should show you how difficult the skill is. Ronaldo has done 13%, but they've picked certain competitions in certain periods and they've brought the numbers 60 attempts, 1 goal. That is, you see, that is when you see that, you know it is clear agenda. Why have you, if Ronaldo is poor at free, or you want to say Ronaldo is poor at free kicks at Euros, is that the thing? He can't score free kicks at Euros, or he can't score free kicks at Euros.
No, his free kick scoring, he's forgotten how to do it.
Yeah, so the question is, why did they leave out the leagues? And if you are taking a period, take the whole period. Why are you taking
not just one competition,
why are you taking
or a couple of competitions?
Certain competitions during a period.
So you are saying that he's scoring free kicks in the league?
I'm saying when you look at the course of his career, the free kick attempts he has taken, and the free kick goals he has scored, and you tally it against the average conversion rate for free kicks. In fact, there was a study that was done. They took 150 elite free kick takers from 2014 to 2021.
Yes.
150 elite free kick takers. And those 150, the average conversion rate was 10%.
Yes.
So if Ronaldo is hitting 13% over the course of his career, Messi is hitting 14%. These are 2 of the top 5. It shows you how difficult the skill is.
Let's look at how much of his last 60 free kick attempts has done to that average.
Okay, in fact,
let
me just end it here because I'm talking too much.
Yes.
The alternatives in the Portuguese team. Okay, the alternatives in the Portuguese team. The best is Bruno. His whole career he has scored 2. So you are telling Portugal that somebody who has a higher conversion rate, somebody who has scored 63, should leave the free kick for somebody who has scored 2. So Ghana is going to Olympics. Azamati is our fastest runner. If Azamati goes for 2 Olympic games and he comes in 8th, Ghana should take the second fastest runner in our country to go and represent Ghana, hoping for a much better result. What kind of logic is that?
But hold
somebody
on.
who is more consistent at something.
But is it not valid to say that if Bruno's 2 free kicks that he scored came in his last 5 attempts and Ronaldo
didn't come in his last 5 attempts. That's the problem. I said his entire career. I didn't say his entire career. Club country. He's played for Sporting, Man United.
He does his worst career. But also, how many does he attempt? That's the point.
Oh,
but his entire career, he could have attempted less than 20. It's possible.
Bruno on free kick duty at Sporting. Bruno, the only time he shared responsibility was when Daddy came to Man U. That one, if Daddy says leave the ball, you have to leave the ball because he's better than you.
So Ronaldo must play. Continue to play. He has earned it. He has earned the right.
The point is, who are you
to tell Ronaldo what to do?
To tell Ronaldo not to take free kicks.
All right, Danike.
Thank you. It was Messi, Pele, Beckham or Juninho in Portugal, then you tell Ronaldo to leave the penalty, the free kicks for them because statistically they are better than him at free kicks. But if it is not them, then keep quiet.
That's right.
And let him kick his free kick.
Danike, thank you very much. Achutabaklo, thank you to, thank you Muftar. That's our show. Like I said, Lexus will continue with Drive Time. Daniel and Achu will be in here as we build up to that big game between Spain and Germany. What a game that is. We have live commentary here on 99.7 Show FM. My name is Fentu Tahir Fentu. It's been a pleasure coming your way with Game Plan. We're back again next week.